say AFL players have to have an extreme level of fitness. Behind every AFL player and every AFL club is a dedicated and knowledgeable fitness staff. We're going to go behind the scenes to talk to our fitness staff, Andrew Phillips, Flipper, and Dave Murray, Muzzer. Flipper established himself as an excellent AFL player with Carlton until he was cut down in his prime with a serious back injury. He's now with the Hawks, overseeing our total fitness program. This includes taking us through the extensive warm-up before each match. Midweek, he's the guy you'll see on the field, coordinating our warm-up and any components of fitness training. While this is happening, Muzzer is busy in rehab.
I've been in the industry now for 10 years, and it's certainly, as I said, the importance placed on rehabilitation, particularly over the last, say, 5 years, has been intensified. Certainly the coaching staff understand now that it's no longer just flogging players out on the track. It's, as I said, making sure that players individualise the specificity and the actual functional training involved in rehabilitating players is so important now. So you've really got to look at the actual individual player and look at the position that he plays and try and simulate everything in the rehab program to the actual position that he plays out on the football ground.
When Hebe fractured his foot earlier this season, the fitness team designed a specific rehab strategy to get him back on the field as quickly as possible.
It's really a tough one because there's very little physio you can actually do for the actual injury that he's actually had. So he had his foot in a cast for about 10 days. And obviously a lot of the rehab that we've been doing with him has involved a lot of deep water running, a lot of grinder work, a lot of weights. Obviously it's a time now we can actually put on a lot of weight for Mark. He's a key position player, and we've tried to use that as an advantage to us by turning it around and trying to put some poundage on him, which we've been successful doing.
Don't you lose terms and stick doing push-ups.
Are you ready?
Go. Good shoot.
The rehab behind the scenes is, you've got a lot of older players now that you really need to nurture, particularly in season. And a bloke like, say, Jason Dunstall really doesn't get out on the track until a Thursday night. So we really have to, and because of the way the fixture's formatted now, there's some weeks where we really only have short recovery. So the actual rehabilitation of players, particularly, as I said, the older players, is so important that we really need to nurture them and to get them up from game to game. But I think it's important to remember that the philosophy behind our rehab sessions is that we try and create that atmosphere where it's actually harder sessions in the actual rehab than it is out on the track.
On our end-of-season footy trip to the States last year, the fitness team tagged along. On top of partying, they actually tried to do some work.
And we actually visited quite a few NFL clubs and NBA clubs, i.e. Chicago Bulls, Green Bay Packers, San Francisco 49ers, and we actually tapped into all their rehab programs and we brought a lot of their ideas back, keeping in mind that their game is a little bit different than ours, but certainly tried to put into the program the parts that we thought were successful. I really believe that we didn't really bring back too much that was different. Obviously just how to manage players, but in terms of the actual programs, it really just reinforced that I think the programs that we've got going are successful.